What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing them the bacon NFL DFS video. We are breaking down Thursday night football. We've got the Packers at the Lions. Hopefully it's a good game. We are here to help you hopefully bring home the bacon. So if you've never been here before, hit that subscribe button. We've got a ton of information. We do NBA every day. We've got NFL. We've got PGA on the website. We've got MMA on the website. We will break down stacks for week 14. We will break down the main slate on Saturdays. We break that down. We will have a breakdown. We have articles of rankings. We've got it all for you. So this video is hopefully going to give you the keys to success to think about maybe some parts of the game you haven't thought about before. So we're going to break down stats from last year to this year in showdowns according to player information on DraftKings. At the end of the video, we are going to build a couple of DraftKings lineups, FanDuel lineups, and even a couple of Yahoo lineups for you guys. So buckle up, sit down, stand up, whatever you need to do. Let's break it down for you. So looking at the game, current game right now, we have the money line favorite, the Lions, 11-1 against the 9-3 Green Bay Packers. The line is currently at 3.5 for Detroit. And the over-under is 51.5, which is a massive over-under for a Thursday night game, which we're very, very excited about. So, that being said, you can see right here, green means good. So, the Lions have obviously covered their last 10 straight games. They're 11-1. They've covered 7 of their last 10 games, the 3.5-point spread. And over-under, 5 of their last 10 games, they've hit over 51.5. And you can see the same thing with Green Bay. So if you want a sports bet, you can. So what we'll do is we will break down the showdown. We will, if you want to check out the Discord down below, we will talk about that in there. We've got questions in there that we can answer. We'll also give you some sports bets that we can answer. So we do have questionable tags with Josh Jacobs, limited participant on Tuesday. He's got a calf, so definitely watch that. Romeo Dobbs is another one with a concussion, limited participant. So obviously it will, if he is out, it will bump up some value at other positions. So here are the statistics, the important statistics you guys should be thinking about or looking into when building lineups, especially on DraftKings. 84% of the winning lineups since last year have contained at least one quarterback. I think we got to get both quarterbacks in this one. Only 6% of the lineups, of the winning lineups, used the entire $50,000 salary on DraftKings. 16% used a $200 player or less. So if Jacobs is out, if Dobbs is out, we could maybe see a $200 player make a little bit of sense. We'll definitely see, kind of wait to see news and notes on that. Probably not, but you never know. Someone could get elevated quickly depending on the injury here. 80% of the winning lineups have used a $4,000 or less player, so I do not mind that. Like a Packers defense, I wouldn't probably use, but you never know. You go Datavian Wicks. Now, you could use him if Dobbs is out. He's 4,200, but he's very, very close. All the way down the list there. Average lineup salary use, $47,500 on DraftKings, and then we get into the stacks. Pretty close. But a 4-2 stack has taken it down 44% of the time since last year. A 3-3 stack 36% of the time. And a 5-1 stack 21% of the time. On top of that, captain, MVP, superstar, whichever site you're playing on. Here's the breakdown to what we've seen. 39% of the time it's been a wide receiver. Monday Night Football, Jerry Jeudy with 235 yards. Not going to say anyone's going to get that here, but if anyone can, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. 28% of the time it's been a running back. Jahmyr Gibbs. Montgomery. Now, my problem is Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't know if he's in any sort of trouble. If you haven't seen the news that he accidentally leaked the play calls on his social media, I don't know if that's going to affect anything. I don't want to get screwed over, but that's a storyline to look for. 17% of the time it's been a quarterback. 7% of the time it's been a tight end, 7% of the time it's been a defense, and only 2% of the time has it been a kicker. Now, this is a dome. The weather is not a concern. Kickers' lives matter. They could be in this game too. So we could see kickers being here. We could definitely see kickers being in this one as well. So that being said, the captain, what are we looking at? Who's the captain of this ship right now? We can definitely see. We will figure it out. So what we're going to do, so we're going to build you, like I said, a couple of lineups on DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo to get you guys in the mindset for Sunday Night Football, or Thursday Night Football, sorry. So, just kind of looking, let's, for instance, say we've got Amon-Ra St. Brown at the top. Now, he's very expensive at 15.3, but we obviously we need, if he's going to have a good game, obviously, most likely, Jared Goff's going to have a good game. So we got Goff in there as well. Okay? Now, if we look at this, we need other side. So let's say, for instance, Detroit's up big. They think it's going to be a close game, but it might be a shootout. I think Jaden Reed needs to be in there. I think Jordan Love. And now we're at 4,000 for 2 spots. Now, we did kind of talk about this, but it just depends. Like, Brock Wright would make some sense. He's gotten a little bit of run, not much with Laporta back. The targets have not been there for him, but this just feels like one of those games where he does have a good game for no reason whatsoever. So, or a Tim Patrick. So you see Tim Patrick last week, 48 yards, 3 targets. He's a cheap option for Detroit. You've got Wicks at 42. Come down here, Craig Reynolds, really not going to do anything. Maybe gets up there if Jahmyr Gibbs is punished for accidentally leaking that on social media. I don't know if that'll be a case, but that is definitely one. Allen Robinson hasn't done anything and probably not going any further down, probably at all. So we're looking at some cheaper options. I'm going to put Brock Wright in there at 3. Now we're at 5,100. Now we can get Brandon McManus here in a dome. He's got a live leg that he's done very well in. I don't mind this lineup. Amon-Ra St. Brown at the top, Brandon McManus down at the bottom. We've left $100 on the table. That is one lineup that I'm going to put in there. It is obviously all contingent if they're going to double team Sam Laporta and kind of leave Brock Wright open, which I could see. We will definitely see ourselves there. So that is one lineup to kind of look at. And that was with a wide receiver at the top. Now let's say, for instance, let's say the Detroit goes up big. We need these guys to be thrown to. I don't mind Jordan Love at the top as a captain spot. Josh Jacobs in there, dump off passes and running, depending if he's going to be in there. He's questionable. We are waiting on that. David Montgomery, maybe Jahmyr Gibbs gets sat because he was a naughty boy. I don't know. So now we're at 4,900 the rest of the way. So we're looking at this instance for this to be a weird stack, but this is the kind of stack that you need. We know Detroit's offense is amazing. Maybe Packers pick, and we know that Jared Goff had 5 interceptions against Houston. Still won that game somehow. 5 interceptions. If somehow he does that again and the Packers intercept it, those are huge points at 3,800. Now we're at 6,100. Obviously, Jake from State Farm is not going to be played. Malik Willis, Mr. Hooker, Clifford, they're not going to be played. You could look at Laporta. You could look at Kraft. But since what we're doing here is a Green Bay stack, I would look at Kraft. Now, I like this matchup, but I'm also going to do something crazy. So I'm going to go back. I'm using the exact same lineup that I just did. I'm going to remove Kraft, and I'm going to put Laporta in there because I do like that matchup there. So I like this setup here, but it's a 4-2 stack Green Bay, but I do want Laporta in there, and I do want a little bit of Montgomery in there. And then a final lineup that we can kind of look at that maybe not a lot of people are going to be on. Let's say, for instance, he's not in trouble. He's not been a bad boy. He's good to go. Let's get Jahmyr Gibbs at the top here, which I love because he's almost 2,000 less. He's 1,800 less. So we put him in there. Contingent on being healthy, but Josh Jacobs is in there. We could get in, depending. Let's get the Lions defense in there. Not 100% liking it 100%, but we got to get creative here. Now we're at 7,300 for 3 plays here. So I think Laporta goes in. Can we get Goff in there? And we're at 6,900. We could get Christian Watson in there. I don't mind that. That's obviously a 4-2 stack on the other side with Detroit. So those are a couple of lineups. If you guys want to see all of them. So what we've got, and this is last week's information, but our cheat sheet. So our matchup tool is completely free. It is completely updated for you guys. It shows you the defenses. It shows you what the stats they've given up for the entire year. And then it breaks down the fantasy points per game they've given up as well. But if you guys want to see, like this was Sunday Night Football. So we will have this for this game. So we'll update this for week 14. But all the stats here all the plays we like for MVP, captain, or the top spot, and then all the plays, the projections, season average, and the bacon rating that we have for week 14 for Monday Night Football. We've got that all right there for you. So if you have not checked us out before, I highly suggest checking us out right this instant. So let's take a look at FanDuel. A little bit different, one less positional spot to play, $10,000 more. The pricing's actually pretty good here, considering everything considering. It's a little bit softer on pricing on FanDuel than it is on DraftKings for whatever reason. So we look at this. I still think Amon-Ra makes it at the top. I'm very surprised the Sun God is not the highest priced guy on here. Just surprising to me. Maybe because the Green Bay secondary is a little bit better, but I don't care. Looking at Jared Goff, throwing it to him, obviously. Maybe we get a little bit of David Montgomery because he's $12,000. He's $3,000 less than Gibbs. So now we're at $10,250 for 2 spots. I think we can get Jaden Reed in here. I was going to say, let's see. Jordan Love at $13,500. And then we're at $7,000, maybe a Brock Wright. But then we don't have Love really thrown to anyone. Malik Heath, game log wise, played, yeah. Hasn't. So if Dobbs is out, Malik Heath makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I mean, it's very hard to look at this. If Dobbs does not play, Malik Heath could play. I fully expect Dobbs to play. So we might not be able to get Love in this lineup. But we can get Love in this club. We definitely can bring it back to 2007, I think. So we're looking at, depending on where we want to go, maybe McManus at 9. And now we're at 11.5. We can do Jaden Reed. So we've got the 2 Green Bay Packers guys, 1 wide receiver, and 1 kicker. Now, I can't play. I don't have any money on FanDuel. I do not play on FanDuel. That's kind of the thought process is what I'm looking at. So that's one lineup. We will clear that, and we'll play another one. So let's say, for instance, we think Josh Jacobs is good to go. His calf's not a problem. He plays in this game. We love it. We love Love, and Jordan Love loves Love as well. So we've got him in there. I think we can get both of these guys in here. Now we're at $10,500. If we go with Tucker Kraft at tight end, and now we're at 11.5. We can go Jaden Reed, Jamison Williams, Christian Watson. So Jamison Williams last week in that game, only 7.1. He obviously had that big game for 124, and he's kind of stunk the past couple of games. He's always a chance to go off. You never know what's going to happen. So you could look at Jaden Reed against Detroit. I like this matchup for Reed. So we've got Love throwing it to both Jacobs and Kraft and Reed, and then you got Jared Goff as the lone wolf for Detroit. Now, Jared Goff could go off. I don't have the funds. Jared Goff could go off. He could not go off. We never know. But that is a lineup there. And then final lineup, just depending on what we look at, let's put in, get out of here. Get to getting. Okay, so let's put Jordan Love as the top spot here. Let's put a Gibbs in there because maybe he's back. Let's put Montgomery in there because both of them actually can have good games together, which is usually you don't see, but is definitely something I'm looking at. So I want Love to throw to Jaden Reed. Now we're at 8,500. We got the Lions defense. Obviously, we don't want the Lions defense if we've got our MVP as our captain or MVP as our Green Bay guy. Dobbs is the questionable one. If Dobbs is out, I'm going with Datavian Wicks, but I am looking at Romeo Dobbs here, seeing if any news comes out. Yeah, so we'll put him there. Obviously, we'll wait to see. He's got a great matchup there. We've got 3 Green Bay, 2 Detroit, and both of the Detroit guys are the running backs. So that is what we've got for FanDuel. That is what we've got for DraftKings. And now we will see, what do we have for the Yahoo? Now, not a lot of people play it, like I said, but people have asked. And people have, I think there's enough interest, I should say, to be able to give you guys this information here. So we've got that. We've got a superstar, questionable superstar there. And then we got 4 flex options. So the pricing's a little bit nicer. Sun God is still cheaper than Jacobs, which I don't understand. Jordan Love is there. Jared Goff is here. We're at 46 with about 23 the rest of the way. We could do that because David Montgomery at 29 now. We got 17. We got to find a little bit of value, whether or not it's going to be Christian Watson. It's wild that Sam Laporta is there at that price. Tucker Kraft makes a lot of sense. I've got Jordan Love thrown into Tucker Kraft, and then I've got Jared Goff to Amon-Ra and David Montgomery. That is a lineup I'm going to lock in because all I can do on Yahoo is play free for all, free entry, and that is it. That is what I just don't understand. I don't get why, but whatever. We're not going to fight it. We're just going to, I guess, embrace it. So go free, enter the contest. Be free. Go. Be free. So let's put Jordan Love, captain. Let's put him throwing it to Amon-Ra. Let's put Jared Goff also in there. So now we're at $23 for the rest of the way. So we're looking right around-ish. I'm going to put Laporta in there. And then I've got $27 to work with. I think I'm going to go with Jameson Williams because we haven't really talked about that. Or no, let's go. Jordan Love's got to throw it to somebody. He's going to throw it to Jaden Reed at 25. So there you go. That is the breakdown Thursday Night Football. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you guys learned some things. If you did, let us know down below. Let me know what you guys would like to see in these videos. If that is the case, we can definitely help out. So I will definitely be looking at having some sort of some bets going down for in our Discord. And this is how we can utilize the matchup tool. So if you just look at like Detroit against the opposing wide receiver or quarterback, they're very good. They rank 7th out of 32, where we've got Green Bay being 9th. So they're very good against the quarterback. We go down to the running backs. Green Bay's is 18th out of 32, giving up an average of 23.6. So in theory, we're looking at both of the running backs being a very good option for what we've got going on in Detroit. Wide receivers, this is where it's a little bit different. So we look at Detroit, Green Bay. Detroit ranks 29th out of 32. They are giving up an average of 39.9 on DraftKings and 31.9 on FanDuel. So that gives a bump to the Green Bay Packers wide receivers. So that is where I would look into this game. We go player props. This is what I love about Outlier. So player props, you don't really have that. I mean, you can go passing or whatever, but you can go down to props, and let's just say Jaden Reed. Got Jaden Reed here. We're going with receiving yards. The current line is 48.5. He's hit that 40% of his last 10 games. He's been down these 3 games. He's got a great matchup for it here. So that's why you have a little bit better option here. But they did just play Detroit back here. Detroit won 24-14 on November 3rd, about a month ago. Put up 113 against them. Head-to-head against them, 67% of his career. So you could go receiving line. So you could alt it to, depending on where you're at, we're looking at, let's say 50 plus. Go to 50 plus, add that to my picks. You go down here, you can see which book it's on. So whether or not FanDuel or DraftKings, you get better odds on FanDuel than you do DraftKings, but whatever. This is just how I would utilize this. So we're going to have more of a build out and a same game parlay. I will link that. I will put the information down on the Discord a couple hours before before kickoff, because I am waiting to see on some news about these lines. You could look at like a Romeo Dobbs. So if you look at Dobbs, because he is questionable, I'm curious what his current line is for like receiving yards. Those are touchdowns. Oh, they don't have receiving yards yet, do they? Because, yeah, they don't have it yet because he's questionable. So they're pretty good at that. So that's my thought process, how we're doing it. That's how we build some lineups. That's how we look at our sports bets. Any questions, get those down below. Also, let us know what you guys would like to see in any of our videos. I am open to hearing it. Good luck on Thursday Night Football. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.